Good morning everyone. My name is Adithya, studying grade 8, and today we will learn about the Pandas rename function. First, why do we use this function? We use this function to rename the column headers or index labels, which are the column names or the index names. We will learn several of its parameters like mapper, index, columns, axis, copy, in place, and etc. Starting off, let us import the necessary libraries, which are Pandas and NumPy. Next, I am going to read the dataset, which is walmart.csv. I have gotten this dataset from Kaggle, and the link is posted in the description. As this is an CSV file, I am reading it using the Pandas read CSV function. And also note that this CSV file is saved in my working directory. That is the directory in which both my Jupyter notebook and the walmart.csv file is stored. Now, I am reading this file using the Pandas read CSV function into the df walmart variable. Let us look at the data frame. As you can see, it has many columns like store, date, weekly sales, holiday flag, temperature, fuel price, CPI, and unemployment. These all columns are related to the store, to the different stores or branches of Walmart. Using the shape attribute, we can see how many rows and columns the data frame contains. We can do this using the data frame dot shape attribute. So over here our data frame is df walmart dot shape. As we can see here, it returns us a tuple containing the number of rows 6435 and the number of columns 8. Next, moving on, let us look at the rename function. First, we will look at how to rename using the mapper and axis parameters. Now, before we do that, let us look at the data frame. Over here, you can see few columns like weekly sales, holiday flag, and fuel price. These columns have underscores. Say, we want to remove these underscores and instead give it a space. Right? Let us do that. So first we say mapper, that is the parameter name, is equal to, and in dictionary we pass in the already present or old name weekly underscore sales with the name that we want to keep, or the new name weekly space sales, holiday underscore flag and holiday space flag, and we should do the same for the rest columns. The next parameter that I am passing over here is the axis parameter. Now when you pass in this mapper parameter, it must know, are these columns names column names or index labels? Are these names column names or index labels? That we can mention using the axis parameter. If the axis is 1 or set to columns, it is, and it tells the function that this is a column header. The mapper dictionary contains column headers. But if the axis is set to 0 or index, it tells that the dictionary of mapper contains index labels. Let me run it, and here you go. You can see our changes: weekly space sales, holiday space flag, and fuel space price. Note that this view is only temporary and is not permanent. That is, it is not saved into the df walmart data frame. It is just showing us how it would look like if we saved the data frame. To confirm that it's not saved, we can run it again and see. When I run df underscore Walmart, no change has been applied to the original data frame. Weekly underscore sales, holiday underscore flag, all of these still contain underscores. There is a special parameter that we can use to make this change permanent, and we will look at it in a bit. Now we have tried it with the column headers. Next, let us try it with the index labels. So similarly, I am passing in the data frame dot rename in parenthesis the parameter, a dictionary. 0 is for 0th, 1 first, 2 second. That is what I want to change. And the axis, as the axis is set to 0, it is taking that these index labels are what we are changing. Let me run it, and here you can see our changes: 0th, first, second, and so on. By default, the axis is set to 0. So now in this case, if you pass in the axis explicitly or not, it will still take it as 0. Now next, renaming with the columns parameter. Instead of passing in two parameters, the mapper and the axis parameter, why can't you just pass in one parameter that will in the backend take the axis as 1, and we should just pass in the dictionary containing the old and new values. This is what exactly the columns parameter is for. You say columns is equal to, and just pass in the dictionary we pass in for the mapper parameter. And there you go. The same change that we have expected is happening. Weekly space sales, holiday space flag, and fuel space price. Let us try the same for the index labels using the index parameter. Index is equal to, and the dictionary we pass into the mapper parameter. There you go. 0th, first, second, and so on. Now next, let us look at the errors parameter. Say that over here, if you see in the data frame that these values of the data frame are integers. This index are integers. They are not strings. But what if by mistakenly, instead of passing it like this, I pass it in quotes or as a string? So what happens? Many people would expect that it would throw an error. But no, it won't throw an error. Instead, it will return the data frame like this. And let us interpret the results. So, could this value be found in the data frame? No, because it is in quotes, but our index over here is integers. Then it will move on to the next one. 1 in quotes. It couldn't be found, so it is moving on to the next one. Like that, it would move on until the end of the list. In our case, because all of them are in quotes, none could be found, and it's returning us the original data frame. But what if we wanted to throw an error? That if the value is not found in the data frame, it must throw us an error. That is what we can do using errors is equal to raise. This parameter makes sure that if the element or value is not found in the data frame, an error should be thrown. There you go. The key error exception has been thrown. It says that these values are not found in axis 0. That is, they are not found in the data frames index. Next, let us look at renaming with the level parameter. This parameter is applicable for multi-indexes. First, let us create a data frame with a multi-index to know what is an index. To know what is a multi-index. Right. Now, a multi-index is an index that has sub-indexes, or like one main index, and in them we are like branching into two. So we have the first level 0, which branches into two, AA and AB. Similarly, we have the second value in level 0, which is B to A and B to B. Further, there can be more, but we have created only a small data frame over here. And this multi-index was created from a list of tuples AA, AB, BA, BB. And the values I have passed in a list containing 4 values. The index is the multi-index that we have created here, and the column name is values. Now, say I want to replace this A with C. I want to replace all the A's with C. As we know, we can just pass an index is equal to in a dictionary A:C. But what if I want to replace A's only in this particular sub-index? I want to replace the A's in this particular sub-index with C. So A over here and A over here should be replaced with C. But if you simply say index is equal to in a dictionary AC, then it is replacing all the A's. For this, to replace only in a specific index, we can pass in the level parameter. And which level do you want to replace it? In our case, it's level 1, and I pass in the parameter level is equal to 1. There you go. Only in the first level, the value A is replaced with C, and in the other levels, it is not replaced. Now, the most awaited parameter, the in place parameter. After we have done this change, after we have done this change, as I said, it is not saved into the data frame. If I say df, the data frame, it is not, the changes have not been saved. But what if I want to save the changes? Instead of using the long method, that is df is equal to df.rename and rest, what I can do is I can pass in the in place parameter. Set in place is equal to true, and it would be equivalent to this form. That is, it will just save this view that we have got into the data frame. That is this parameter. Let us run it, and over here you can see that it returns nothing. It doesn't return in data frame because it's stored into the data frame and it's not displaying us any temporary view. Let us look at the data frame, and the changes have been saved. Thank you, and I hope you learnt about this rename function. Please do like, subscribe and share this channel. Thank